Welcome to the Blue Dolphin News Network. I'm Nazaya.
And I'm Alexia.
Please stand for the flag salute. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now our school motto: be safe, live responsibly, understand, respect, and encourage each other. Go, Blue Dolphins! You may be seated.
Birthday celebrations.
Hello, amazing human beings. Ethan and I are so excited to be here with you. This whole week, we're going to focus on Mother Nature because Earth Day is on. I love this topic when we could talk about different ways that we can make an impact on this world. Because guess what? You can make a huge impact on this world. Ethan and I have been doing a lot of research on different books and on different ways that we can do that. Ethan actually has become what? What is your title?
Environmental
ambassador. And all that means is we want to challenge you to make sure that you can tell mommies or daddies or aunties or uncles or grandmas and grandpas, cousins, siblings, all about what you're learning with us, all about the environment, all about ways that you can make an impact on our environment. So we're going to get started now with The Lorax, which is my favorite book because The Lorax is an environmental ambassador. The Lorax speaks for the trees. Definitely fights for what is no, let's not cut down our trees. Let's make sure that we treat animals in the environment amazingly and kind because the trees are where they live or where they get their food from. So we're going to start The Lorax. We're only going to get halfway through and tomorrow we'll finish the other half because it's a super long book. So let me share my screen and we're going to get started.
The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. At the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere from the far end of town where the grickle grass grows? The old Onceler still lives here. Ask him. He knows. You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkum on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkum, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffered moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great, great, great grandfather snail.
Woo! Adapted Mind Math!
Sorry, guys.
Come explore the site with me. I'm in first grade.
Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snuv, his secret strange hole in his grovulous glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper-mophone, For the secrets I tell are for your ears alone. Sloop! Down slips the whisper-mophone to your ear, and the old Onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. Way back in the days when the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the song of the Swami swans rang out in space. One morning, I came to this glorious place. And I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright-colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees, I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. From the ripulous pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, those truffula trees. All my life I'd been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart.
Reading is to your mind what exercise is to your body. If you have too much to read and too little.
In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffula tree with one chop, and with great skillful skill, and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft, and I knitted a thneed. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I'd chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues, and I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed. What's that thing you've made out of my truffula tuft? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I am doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt. It's a sock. It's a glove. It's a hat. But it has other uses. Yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that fool thneed. But the very next minute, I proved he was wrong. For just at that minute, a chap came along, and he thought that the thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. I rushed across the room and in no time at all built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Weehawken, sharp right at South Stitch. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thneeds, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of truffula trees. Then, oh, baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now, chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffula trees at one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before. And that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore.
So what I really want to get to is this story really speaks about how the Lorax was really, really coming out because now this one guy went into this, let's say a beautiful forest and started chopping down all these trees because he wanted a financial gain, which means he wanted to make money. The Lorax was very sad and said, no, you can't do that to our environment because these trees are homes to different animals. They're food for different people. Trees provide us with just amazing air quality, right? So I want you to think about how you can be an environmental ambassador and really make a difference in this world. And there's so many different ways that we can make a difference, right? And one of them can be to speak out on what's not right for the environment. So chopping down trees like that all the time, not good for our environment, right? Being wasteful, not good. We want to make sure that we are eating, like whenever we're given food, we eat everything. Or what was the thing you were talking about, Ethan? What we can do with food?
So if you have a banana peel at home, I have a challenge for you. Put your banana peel in a bag and then plant it somewhere near a tree. And then what happens is that it feeds the tree and then it grows.
Yeah, so that's called composting, which means that we take stuff like apples that we're done eating or banana peels or food. And what you do is when you place that into soil, it allows like the nutrients from those products to go into the soil and allow like trees to grow, even like coffee grinds. So there's just a bunch of different ways. Something like when you're brushing your teeth, shut the water off while you're brushing your teeth. It helps save the water. So there's a lot of different tips and ideas that we are going to give you because we are challenging you to make sure you are environmental ambassadors. This whole week, I want you to make an amazing impact on the world. And hopefully it'll just carry on to every single day. Have a super duper amazing day.
Bye.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye.